Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back. And so you guys will see just in a second, Android 16 and iOS 26, both screen grabs that I'll have up here. And, you guys can look at both of them side by side, I guess, in a way. And really, I just want to talk to you guys about these new operating systems that's coming, right? More differently for Android 16 because Android 16 is available, but Material 3 Expressive is not currently available for everyone just yet. At least I don't think so. It's still, I have it on my devices because of QPR1 Beta 3, but I don't know if it's fully rolled out for everybody. Like, I have always heard rumors that operating system, like the new change up in the user interface, will go live sometime this fall 2025, and iOS 26 is also going live in fall of 2025. So for context, I do have on iOS 26 I do have the liquid glass theme on, basically. I have to be careful saying it because there's a trending name which Apple did by mistake with I guess like one of their banners or whatever. And so, like, I don't want to slip and say that on the video. To me, both operating systems, as far as functionality and everything like that, I think they're decent. I interact with applications, right? So I interact with YouTube, I interact with X, and it functions the same. When I tap on the icon, the app's open. It's a little bit awkward for me just because for so many years when Apple did something, it was like Apple could do no wrong. And the time in tech has changed because people are more vocal about it. I get people who like it generally, and then, I get people who dislike it, and they actually explain why. It's the way that it looks. Some people feel like it's a half-baked idea. They think that it looks terrible, or it reminds people of like how operating systems on smartphones looked about 10 to 12 years ago, that type of thing. If you think about it, smartphones have been a thing for honestly for the last 12 years, I would say. I think it was like 2013 is when basically you had majority of the population off feature phones, off Blackberries, basically, and onto either an Android device or an iOS device, right? 2009, 2010, 2011, you still had feature phones like the LG Rumor Touch and the Samsung Rant, and these were phones that had QWERTY keyboards, mainly built for messaging on the fly and messaging quickly than T9 texting. And people were starting to get into Androids, and of course iPhone had been out for a while, so people that had iPhones, they spent the grip on iPhones, and people that got Android were introduced into the world of Android. So it's a very different time back then, and now everyone is on a smartphone, whether it's a cheap $50 Android phone or a superly used iPhone that they got from eBay or OfferUp or something like that, to people financing it from carriers or just outright buying them direct from manufacturer. But today a lot of people have smartphones, so there's a lot of opinions now about how the softwares look, the user interface, how intuitive it is, how easy it is to navigate, and just how aesthetically it looks on the eyes. So you guys, if you guys could, drop a comment below. Which is better, Android 16, iOS 26? Give your reasons why. I would love to read it. I would love to know. Eventually, one day, I'm going to talk about it in a podcast. But yeah, I would just love to know your guys' thoughts.